Hey, Scott here again with another how-to. Yesterday, I'm sure you saw me, I got another video that we painted the 1996 Impala SS. I did that, I pulled that out, and I painted the hood and deck lid yesterday. So today's how-to is going to be how to wet sand and buff. So the first segment will be how to wet sand, give you some tips, show you the way that I wet sand. I can do a fast job and still a quality job. So I want you to learn how I do it, and hopefully these help you out. So a couple things, of course you need some water, sprayable water. Usually I don't put soap in it. You can put a little bit of soap if you want to. That helps out, but it's not necessary. You gotta have a squeegee. This is like a 4-inch squeegee. And you gotta have your sandpaper. So I used half sheets. One thing you want to do, you want to make sure you tri-fold it. So always tri-fold it. Make sure it fits in the palm of your hand. That's why you tri-fold it. Plus it gives you 3 segments you can use, 3 sections. So do it like that. And just a rag or a wipe all or something like that. You want to make sure that your surface is clean. I just painted these yesterday. They're still in the spray booth, so they're clean, but I'm still gonna wipe it down anyway, just to make sure there's no dust laying on top of it. So I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and get started here. I'll go ahead and do probably half the hood or close to it, and then we'll go on to our next segment after that. So basically what you want to do is you want to wet your sandpaper. Get a nice little spray here. You want to spray the surface, you want to spray the paper. Make sure the surface is wiped clean. Don't want any dust on it. You can usually hear dust particles, they'll make a squeaky noise. Of course, my rack is, I got a loose rack holding the hood here, so that's going to make some squeaks. But you'll recognize any squeaks that dust particles will make, and you always want to make sure that you clean that. Immediately stop, wash the surface down if you hear a squeak, and start over. So wet this down. One thing you want to do, always keep your hand flat. This helps cut the orange peel. Just want to keep wet sanding. You've got to make sure the edges are good. So it makes a quality job. Nothing like having a flat surface and it goes to orange peel on the edges. If you get orange peel on this edge and you have orange peel on the fender edge, it just doesn't look good. So you always got to make sure that you get enough clear on your surface. So on this particular one, like I said in the previous video, I used JC 6700. That's my preferred high solids clear. I like it. It's kind of harder to spray, like I said, but it's nice and thick. Usually I put 3 to 4 coats on it. You always want to make sure you have more and not enough. You don't want 2 coats. And you're going to wet sand. You're going to either wet sand through or you're going to buff through. So you want to keep at it. If you have to, you can stop. Spray your paper. Spray the surface. Keep at it. Every once in a while you can check. Normally what I do, I just keep at it. Just, you know you got this to do, you got this to do, just keep at it. Now the reason you squeegee too, not only to dry the surface, but you always want to look for little specks. It always shows either low spots or high spots. Here we got a little dirt speck. That will come out once you wet sand it enough. So low spots like fish eyes or something like that, they also show. So in this area, we don't have any. Like I said before, you just want to keep at it. Normally I don't stop, I do this whole hood before I even wipe it down. I've had some guys in here that what they do, Every 2 feet they're checking themselves. Well, you know you get the rest of this, so just get it done. Just wet it down. No sense in putting the water on and taking it right back off. You can go any direction you want. In fact, a little tip that I got for you is I've done a ton of motorcycles. I've done well over 3,000 motorcycles, and those are a little tougher to wet sand. And right when I know I'm almost done, I'll do what I call circle sand. Basically, that's just a real slight circle, just like this. And what that does, it makes it so much easier to buff. You really wouldn't believe the difference, but if you just keep pounding it this way, you almost tend to put more grooves in there. But when you circle sand, it cuts the opposite, kind of like crisscrossing. And it really helps ease in the buffing process. Now here's another reason why you try to fold it. Open it up. You got a brand new section, so you got 3 sections to deal with. Again, get the edges good. You never want to go off the edge like this or this. You run your heel of your hand right along the edge there. Get the grooves very good. Like this, the back of the hood, you can go with the edge of the hood. And another thing too is when you have a fresh surface like this, especially like a door, a fender, a side surface, when you put scratches in, when you put water it down and it's fresh, the water just slides off. So if you just lightly sand it like that, the water tends to really hang on to it a lot better. So you can just lightly scuff it first and then throw a lot of water. Just want to keep at it. One of my mottos is keep sanding until you think you're done, and then sand a little more. Just like buffing. You want to buff till you think you're done, and just keep buffing a little more. You got to keep at it. A whole hood should take you probably 20 minutes to a half hour, something like that. Now normally I just keep at it, do the rest of the hood. But what we're going to do, we're just going to squeegee this just for the video. I'm going to do a good job at squeegeeing it. Now normally you want to wet sand, I do the next day. So sometimes the most you want to wait is probably a couple days. You wait too long and it's going to be like wet sand and concrete. Now the more you wet sand, the better off you're going to be. You want this completely dull, just like this surface here. So you want to wipe all the crud off. So when this dries, it should be completely dull. You can see some of the peel. You can keep going on this. This would still give you a quality finish. But if you want a really nice finish, you can get it completely dull. And that will, once you buff it, polish it, it'll almost have a show quality finish. To get a show quality finish, you should almost machine sand it first before you wet sand it. So anyway, what I'll do, I'll finish this hood. I'll come back with the, show you the essentials of buffing, and then we'll just go ahead and dig into buffing. I'll show you some tips and tricks on that too. So, okay, Scott here again. Okay, now we're at the buffing part of the section, video. So I've moved the hood out of the way. I haven't finished it yet. So just to speed up me making this video, I had the deck lid pretty much ready to go. So I moved this into video and I'll show you how to buff here. So basically we're gonna white pad it and black pad it. I'm gonna do a portion of it just to show you. Here I have a Makita variable speed buffer, 8-inch pad. It's Velcro. The white pad is coarser than the black. I like the 3M compounds, but you can use your favorite brand, compound, polish, what have you. So basically what you want to do, of course, make sure the surface is clean. You don't want to wind up your buffer. You want to keep it at a fairly slower speed, maybe 1500, somewhere around there, maybe 1500. So basically, make sure the pad's clean. Should wear an apron. Normally I don't buff in the booth, but I'm just doing a little section here, just the lighting's very good. Make sure your pad's centered. So, basically just digging in. Anytime you come close to an edge, make sure your buffer, your palm, actually goes off. You can see how I'm going off. I'll move the video a little closer here. Always want to make sure you have enough compound too. When you put the compound on, leave it like a little trail so you can come back and grab that when you run out. You always want to keep compound on your pad. I've got it at a very, very slight tilt. On flat surfaces, like right here, you can flatten it, lay it flat. Keep that in the corner until you go off on the corner, off this edge. Same up here. Nice and slow, let the compound do the work. I've seen some guys, they've got to be worn out by the time they're done. So you just want to go nice and slow, let the compound do the work. Now on the next step, we'll use the black pad. Basically the same process. Nice and slow. Like I said earlier, except for the buffing part, you want to make sure that you buff it till you think you're done and buff a little more. What happens is, compounds and polishes have oil in them. The oil fills the scratches. The first time you wash the car, what happens? The oil washes out. Presto, your scratches are back. Okay, done with the white pad. We're just going to do this little section just to show you what it looks like. Okay, now for the black pad. This is a polish. This really brings out the shine. There's also a step after this that you use a blue pad with blue polish. So we aren't going to do that. That's basically the same as this. You just work your way backwards. Now one thing too is when you change from a white pad to a black pad or a black pad to a blue pad, you don't want to have compound all over the place. Because it soaks up, the white compound will get into the pad, and you kind of defeat the purpose. So, if you saw earlier, I had this area completely clean with no compound. Usually you should either wipe it down or even wash it if need be. So you need more. The pad itself doesn't do much. got to either have the compound or the polish on there. You always want to keep that pad moist. And that is just a quick buff to show you what it looks like. As you can see, it's pretty much a flawless surface there. So it came out very nice. Basically, you can do a whole car like that. Make sure your compound doesn't sit overnight. You don't want that because some clears, they stay soft for a little bit and it's a pain to get off. So when you sling compound onto another surface, make sure you clean it as soon as you can. So anyway, I appreciate you watching this how-to video. Hopefully it helps you out. Please subscribe. Please be sure and like this video. And thank you. More how-tos and tricks and tips coming up. Thank you. Okay, while Rob's finishing up the body portion buffing and wet sanding, I figured I'd make one more segment to this video showing the finished product. We brought the hood and the deck lid back in, keep them nice and clean while I was finishing up, and we'll be hanging these soon. So hopefully this video helps you out. Remember those key tips I told you. Remember to use half sheets 1500, tri-fold them. Keep your hand flat when you're wet sanding so it cuts the peel better. Wet sand it till it's dull. Be sure and check all your work with the squeegee. You can see the high spots and the low spots. And remember my tip, my motto, wet sand till you think you're done, and wet sand a little more. Same with buffing. Buff till you think you're done, buff a little more. That'll help you out and save you some aggravation. Because if you do one step bad, going back is hell. So yep, we'll be hanging these soon, and the car should be on its way next week. So just show you a little bit more of the reflection and everything. With those tips, you can achieve a finish just like this. So thanks again for watching.